Uh-huh. Hello. Bruh. Bruh. Carmine is a stupid gay. Or come on, Carmine, is it working or not? Okay. I'm a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. I like the newer games, but I don't mind the classics. I don't think I've ever played glitchy or hacked games before. So I don't think I want to play any after the experience I had. It's it started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you get to explore the towns in it until I noticed out of my peripheral vision that the mailman had arrived and put something in my mailbox, as usual, and left. I paused my game to go see what got in the mail, and the only thing in the mail was a CD case for computers and a note. I took a look inside. I took it inside. I I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle. Let's just call him that, whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I recognized his handwriting. Though what was weird was how it looked. It looked badly written and scratchy, and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle had had a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry. This is what he wrote. I can't take it anymore. I have to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late, and I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me, and if you don't destroy the CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast for me. Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me. Please, Tom. Oh, fuck. Destroy the disc, and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it. Please, Kyle. Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend, I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. I didn't do what he asked. I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do anything bad to him. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway, I looked at the disc and it looked like any other computer CD-R disc, except it had black marker on it written Sonic.exe, and it was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning he must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I saw Sonic on the writing of the DV, I was actually excited and wanted to play it since I'm a big semi-classic Sonic fan. I went up to my room and turned on the computer and put the disc in. I installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed it was the first Sonic game. I was like, awesome. Because like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed was that out of that was that the first thing I noticed that was out of place was when I pressed start. There was a split second where the title image turned into something different, something much different, something that I now consider horrifying before cutting to black. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky had darkened, the title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now Sega 666, and the water had turned red like blood, except it looked hyper realistic. But the freakiest thing was that the split second frame was Sonic. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding, with two glowing red dots staring right at me, and his smile had stretched wider to the edge of his face. It was after it, I was rather disturbed about the image when I saw it, though I figured it was just a glitch and forgot about it after it's after it cut to black and stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so. And then another weird thing happened. The save file select from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up. And I was like, WTF? What's this doing in first Sonic game? Anyway, I noticed something off. The background was the dark, cloudy sky or bad Stardust Speedway level from Sonic CD, and there was only 3 save files. The music was that creepy Caverns of Winter music from Earthbound. Only it was extended to and seemed to have been in reverse, and the image for the save file where you see a preview of the level you're on is just red static for all 3 files. Ooh, what freaked me out more was the character select. It showed only Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Robotnik. Now, I was sure that something was up. I mean, how can you place Robotnik in a classic Sonic game for crying out loud? That's when I realized that it wasn't a glitchy game. It took up until now to realize that the game wasn't just glitched, it was a hacked game. Yeah, it definitely looks hacked. It was really creepy. But as a smart gamer, I wasn't scared. Or at least I tried not to be. I told myself it was just a hacked game and there's nothing wrong with that. Anyway, shaking off the creeped out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails. And when I selected and got started, the game froze for about 5 seconds. I hear a creepy pixelated laugh. It sounded awful. Look like the uh, Kefir, fucking Final Fantasy edgy sword dude. Talking to back. The the screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red, and the text only showed Hill Act 1. The screen faded in the level title vanished, revealing Tails in Green Hill zones from Sonic 1. I have to watch my back in case fucking Sonic is in my room, bro. Uh, the music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and had Tails start running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. What was odd was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones very slowly as I kept going. I suddenly saw something, and I stopped to see what it was. It was one of the small animals lying dead on the ground, bleeding. That was when the music started to slow down. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face that I never saw him have before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face as he kept moving. I saw more dead animals as Tails passed them, looking more and more worried as the music lowers. He moves past the more dead animals. I was shocked to see how they all died. They all looked like somebody had killed them in rather gruesome ways. A squirrel was hanged on a tree and appeared to be his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and the dog had his eyes gouged out and his throat slit. I felt sick to the stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there was no more animals, and the music seemed to have stopped. I still kept Tails to continue. After a minute passed after the music stopped, Tails was running up the hill, and then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there on the other side of the screen with his back against Tails, with his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, but his smile faltered, obviously noticing that Sonic wasn't responding to him. If not acting as if he was totally obvious of Tails' presence, Tails walked slowly towards Sonic, and I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. This had to have been a cutscene. Suddenly, I began to have a growling feel of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen to him. I heard faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic and stopped and stuck his hand out to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to go to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open, and they were black with with those red glowing dots, just like the title image. Though there wasn't a smile. What happened? The screen turned black, and the static sound was off. It stayed black for about 7 seconds. Then white text appeared from forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level, with the level now saying, "Hide and seek." This time, I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looked like everything was on fire. Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me with a frantic gestures to me, as if he wanted me to get out of the area he was in as fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this. So, I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall and trying to get him out of here. Dude, how much more of this is there? So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could, make him run as fast as he could, a pixelated version of that creepy theme when you meet Shadow of the Ark at the Ark of as Robotnik from Sonic Adventure 2 was playing as I made Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape from whatever he was running from. Suddenly I heard that creepy laugh again, that awful Kiefer, fuck laugh. Right after 10 seconds had passed, as I helped Tails run through the forest, and then I started to see flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen. Again, with those black and red eyes, the music changed to that suspenseful, drowning jingle as I see Sonic behind Tails, slowly gaining up on him. Flying, Sonic wasn't running, he was actually flying.